Hey everyone, this is a real-time walkthrough of using OpenAI's new operator model to do some basic web research. While many people talk about the basic advertised features, such as booking a flight or making a table reservation, those really aren't tasks most of us will need it to do. However, doing web research for us is much more likely to be impactful. Today I'm going to ask it to do some basic research across 4 different websites for the cost of common grocery ingredients, and then put those into a Google Sheet for me. Since this is a very early build of Operator, more akin to an alpha build, really, than even a beta, it may or may not succeed. Let's watch it work and see how it does. So you just saw that it did a search for a Kroger grocery store in my area. You will also probably notice that it's not the fastest setup in the world. Maybe they are running it on an old Raspberry Pi or something. Hopefully, as it goes through development, it will get significantly faster. So you just saw that it did a search for a Kroger grocery store in my area. You will also probably notice that it's not the fastest setup in the world. Maybe they are running it on an old Raspberry Pi or something. Hopefully, as it goes through development, it will get significantly faster. It's searched for eggs. And now it's on to milk. I wonder how well it will do at picking out the generics versus the name brands. I probably should have asked it to add the product name to the spreadsheet so we could compare and see which one it picks. I'm going to let it do its thing now, and we'll speed up the playback so you don't have to sit here for the entire 14 minutes it took for it to complete this task. Okay, so we can see it finished up with Aldi. I'm actually pretty impressed with how it did on Kroger. It seemed to find all the ingredients. And now it's searching out this Aldi location near me. And it's going to go ahead and select some things here. And this is, honestly, this is pretty good. It's finding everything. It seems to be, at least. It's doing the shopping here. And, these websites are all going to be fairly similar, but it does seem to be navigating them okay. I don't know how much, of this is pre-programmed on their sites. Again, I think that it'll be interesting to see when it gets up here to the HEB, because the HEB is going to be a little bit different in that that's a Texas-only store. So I don't know that they would have that in there, whereas these others are more nationwide brands. It actually got through there pretty quick. Now I guess we're at 4x, so it is going much faster than it actually went. In total, it was 13 minutes and 47 seconds or so, not including the time it took me to log in and authenticate with Google, which you'll see here in a little bit, but I did cut out the part where it had me do the 2-factor and all that, because I didn't figure you guys need to see all that. And actually, it's going through the HEB website here pretty well. So that's encouraging. That's, again, a site that I don't expect that it knows much about. And I'm fairly encouraged that it seems to be doing it. Okay, so it's finished up its shopping, and now it's going to go log into Google Sheets. And it's going to actually come in here and ask me to log in. So I'm going to log in, and it's going to give me control. And this is going to allow me to do my login, my 2-factor authentication, so forth. And then I'm going to be able to return control back to it. So log in. Here we go. And that's going to ask me what I did. So I could give it some information. Then I hit return to control the operator. And now we'll see it's going to take over and start using that session again. It's going to go through and create the spreadsheet for us. And let's just watch and see how it does on this, because it's going to be pretty interesting. Okay, so looks like maybe it's going to change the name. That's good, because we asked it to call it the weekly grocery onion or something like that. It's a little bit slow. Takes its sweet time, Thankfully, you can run this in the background and not necessarily have to be here to babysit it unless you know that it's going to have logins or things like that where it may need to ask for interaction with you. It also does the same thing when it runs into a CAPTCHA. Unfortunately, it will not auto-solve those CAPTCHAs for you. It's going to ask how to solve them for yourself. Okay, so it looks like we're setting up the columns here with the different stores and the item. And that's pretty good. It knows what it's doing. Let's see here. Okay, dozen eggs. It's a little slow. Gallon of milk. Half gallon of orange juice. Again, I probably should have had it put the brand that it picked, or at least the product name or something in here, so that we'd be able to compare these a little bit more accurately. And here it goes, it's filling in the prices. So, guys, tell me what you think, but for me, this is, it's got potential. It's got a lot of work to do still. There's things that do and do not work. For example, I looked, the first search I ever did on it was looking for a flight, and I told it I needed to, had a date range. I wanted to fly. I needed to fly from one location to another, so forth, and it came back and told me it couldn't find any flights. When I told it, hey, I already looked this up, and I know there's a flight, on such and such date, which was inside that date range, it went and found that flight. And then it, I still had to give it some more, things, because it found a flight that was like $1,000, and I'd already found one on American Airlines that was $400. So I told it, hey, there's an American Airlines flight for $400, and it did go out and find that, but it was not able to do it on its own the first time I asked it. Now, obviously, this is just come into beta. They're calling it beta. I'm going to call it a late alpha because I don't know that it's entirely ready for beta yet, which is probably why only pro users get to use it. But as all things OpenAI have been, we're going to see a lot of improvement over the very next couple months, and I expect that this could be a really helpful tool, especially when we get API access to it and we can control it through other agents. All right, so that's it for me. I think it's done what it's supposed to be doing. It's going to go share this with me here and give me the link, and I think that's pretty cool to see that I actually knew to set the access on it. And so, yeah, you guys have fun, enjoy, don't play with it too much.